Hello guys. So tonight I'm going to work on a new one, new illustration. And for this one, I want to add like a character in the front scene. Something like this, looking for my references. Okay, kind of do like the space trooper kind of guy. Hey, look who you are. Welcome. So, and a dark armor, kind of a scary-ish. I really like that thing, that one too. It's a very good artist. Can just find his name back. I like to give references when I use like references. So this one. Yeah, that's the guy. Thomas Vivek. I don't know how you pronounce that, but he has a very like cool like style, like a mix of like science fiction, Star Wars, stuff like that. He did like a cool works for like Rage too. That armor is very rad. So yeah, I'm using one of his concepts as a reference. That one. We want to do that kind of a tubing thing there, so we're going to work on that too. And yeah, I want to like the big like space trooper invader like and in the back we're going to have like a spaceship just landed, so something very close to that in the sense of like a composition, not on the side. I'm just going to cut it there in sense of like and the yellow and the blues, totally my jam. Maybe some alien plants in the back, something very like science fiction 70s again. Goes, why not? So I'm just adding a few of the elements I already did like from other characters. This one is going to be a fast one. It's not, I'm not starting from scratch. I really like using heavily relying on the stuff I had before. Because I can. Hello Ali. Character today, yes, but more like a fast one. I'm going just to basically going through like some elements I have already. So it's not a big work on characters. Non, il est pas fini. Oh, oups, it's going to the... Yeah, it did work-ish. Yeah, I just want to go like fast on the rest. It's not like a full character with like lots of work, but still, I'm going to sculpt that guy and do like a few like iterations on it. So it's more like a kit bashing from like a lot of elements from other characters I have already. See, that's cool. Perfect timing. Bonnie Matthew. Bonne Viston. Well, actually, I really want to do like something like what is just calculating or just crashing. We'll see later on. Where is it? I always wanted to do something close to that guy, so that's why I'm just I'm taking the pose from that. You know, Moebius. I always loved that story and that guy, and there's something there I want to do too. It's like having those hints of colorful uh, gears and stuff like that. So definitely going to take a few hints from that one too. But I won't see that. I don't want to see the face, so I just going to cover it because I want something more like more interesting like that, where you each try, you don't know quite yet what if it's human or not. And I really like that one from Thomas Weber. Oh, come on. It's going to be okay. No, most of the time what I do is like I sculpt my I pose my characters in 3ds Max, and then I just export the pose, the character into as a brush, and then I sculpt on top of that. This one is crashing on me right now. Well, I give it like 2 more minutes. Just closing holes, really, it's not that difficult. Hello, Vince. Oh yeah, it's totally crashing on me. How was your day, guys? I didn't see Ben's. Oh yeah. Oh yes, it's crashing. It's freaking crashing. Happens. That's okay. I'm not crying. I'm a big guy. Oh, we have a red. Who is joining? Ugodes with 21. Wow. Thanks, guys. We just came in the middle of a crash. Yeah. So let's get it back. Oh yeah, see, just like on same thing on ZBrush. Welcome, guys. We can wait. Thank you for joining. So just like you're in the middle of like a new character I'm doing, and I just took a lot of elements from all my characters I already did before to go faster, basically. So hope I'm not going to have like a second crash on that one. Easy, breathe, take a deep breath. I think it just crashed because of that kind of that messy mesh right there. Hello guys. Oh, don't touch that. Where is my hide? Let it in. Alien. So the goal there is just to do that kind of a character like the space marine just debarking from his spaceship, something like that. Yeah, totally the thing I want to do. So but I want it to like very exaggerated dark and with a few hints of colors like Moebius. So I took the stance from that one. I really like it, and I'm going to add like more elements to it, and there we go. We're starting from there, and I want the helmet somewhat with that. I like the kind of tentacles things. Very cool. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Stay tuned. So right now I'm just going first just to add the rest of the elements I have already like gathered around. I just need to position them. Basic vest. I like the fact that it's like stuff with like way too much material on him. That's kind of funny. I like that. Kind of over exaggerated, very heavy metal. I made that helmet based on like a football helmet that I used like a long time ago. The new NASA Artemis suit? No. There's a new NASA Artemis suit? Where? Let's go, let's check that. Oh, that one. That's the new one, or is it? I think I saw it already. Like more like a. Yeah, I know that one. It's quite like quite super heavy with this big like waist there. It looks very odd. I think it's because they can just enter from the back of the backpack. I think that's the whole idea there. See there, that backpack she has in the back. That's why you enter from there. Because I saw those suits when I was at Houston. I saw kind of those suits attached to the Mars vehicle. Not that one. Yeah, that one. And they have the suits. See those with the backpack like that? It's attached. I really like the concept. It's quite cool. I see like even like smaller picture. It's not possible, right? Yeah, like running over. Yeah, that's right. You see how it's connected there, like to the back. Is because it just like it's pressurized from the inside. That's quite clever. I like that. It's funny. It's really like more like a vehicle than a suit. So yeah, I want to have that guy like being like over crazy like pockets and stuff. Et le gardien, bonsoir. Ça faisait un petit moment. So I may or may not leave that one. Let's see. Okay. I have a few more like to just add before starting sculpting. Oh yeah, that's another helmet. That's cool. I have so many props. And that one is more like the helmet I used. Yeah, so let's go with a helmet like that. That's quite cool. And the one I use for like my palette inside the spaceship. Is it hidden somewhere there? And before that, I use it for like a freelance. I can't show it yet, but it was for like a cover for a science fiction book. I'm just bringing back some elements from that guy there. Yeah, some characters tonight. See, I don't really care about how it's merged together anyways, because after that I'm going to reskirt on top of that. Kind of a crazy military space trooper-ish. Very much like something I want that kind of that kind of vibe, and something very like that too. Obviously, Mobius. So totally aiming for that. Ends the pose. Yeah, you never know. Like if there are rats. Just saving because I'm kind of afraid that it crashes. So I think I have a few things there. Like is that one? So that one is one of my favorite shoulder pads, knee pad, Dynamite. Going to be a knee pad today. Hello, Ultra Kill Blast. What a name. Thanks for joining. Oh yeah, that one. L'homme est-il bon? That's a very short story. Not to brag, but I have this one signed by Mobius. Yeah, I'm bragging. Obviously, I have one signed by Mobius. I have like a sign from like my favorite artists. The only one I don't have is Frazetta. and Rea was I just missed the guy. He just died on me like 1 year after that. He was passing by in Montreal. I couldn't just make it to the shop. He was signing his book. So pissed. Yeah. Why? But yeah, just for a little story, when I was working in France. I was working in that video game company, and his daughter was working with me. She was like colorist artist, and so each time he was passing by, she was like, "Pascal, he's coming today. Ooh, cool!" So I was bringing a book and did a few drawings and signed a book. So I was like, "Yes." I have one from Mignola too. Did that little sign on the bottom of one of the my hair boys, and I was so geeking out. It's crazy. I have one from Simon Bisley, who just trashed my favorite book because it signs that big on the inside cover. I was like, but yeah, it's a sign by Bisley, so nothing to say there. He totally trashed my book. I'll show you next time the signs I have, and this one is like, wow, yep, yeah, that's it. I had this one. I was like for years. Like cherished that book. It was. And he looks like his characters, by the way. That's so funny. He looks like Lobo, grumpy guy with like thick glasses, all bodybuilded. Crazy. So you see that how that work is going to evolve. Like I'm going to more and more like sculpt all of that. But it's not done yet. Far from it. Yeah, I have my backpack kit too. That or is it? There it is. So going further. And by the way, this is a AMM brush with like nice jackets and bags like that. I just use and I just resculpt a bit of that, but that's it. So many cool stuff you can find for the brush right now, especially for illustrations. That's the perfect thing to use. Bye bye. Hey, okay. No way. Since 2000s? That's a long time ago. Some of the guys around were not born yet, right? Thanks, Caesar. Somebody. Yeah, I've been streaming for maybe 1 month now, around. That's it, guys. And yeah, start to look like a little like a nice little band around there. So very welcome to join in. Just like I'm going to do like some review portfolios for those who want it. So like we can have like a bit of fun there. It's relaxing. The music is from Evo 9, and I'm doing a bunch of space thematics illustration for myself, hoping that I do enough of them to do like a book in the line of Talent Trade Authority. Just that. Let's go with a 60 illustration page book, right? That's cool. That means at least one year of streaming. Especially when I'm talking, I can just click in the same time. It takes even more time. T'es sérieux, le gardien? T'es né en 2001? Fuck. T'as l'âge de mon fils aîné. Presque. Il est né en 2002. T'es plus vieux que lui, encore techniquement, ça. Thanks, Ali. So see, it's just like, let's go in the backpack. I'm going to have like a few pockets. Um, that time, that time, that was not ZBrush. That was a fucking pain. I can believe me. When ZBrush started, I was already like in contact with them because they wanted me to do like stuff for them. Jamie Labelle was like always like pushing me to get stuff done. I was never doing that, but nonetheless, it was just very sportive. So always appreciated the support from the guys there. And they were like just always and always pushing us to use the 2.5 painting 2D because they were like half like painting software. They wanted to be Photoshop, but a bit of 3D. They didn't know yet what they were doing. And then appeared that kind of all those information you can put on a brush, because what we are doing right now is just it's a brush, right? It's not a model, it's a brush, and then you can just paint with that as a brush. Anyways, and I was like, yeah, it's not useful, but that thing, the brush, yeah, that's super cool, but you had to just apply it to the canvas, and then you could just sculpt on it, and it was quite amazing. And then they gave us a possibility to just turn around like that, continue to just sculpt on it, but each time you had to do something else with than the brush. Yeah, you had to commit and just like put it on the canvas. So I was like, can we just leave that and just save it as a mesh after that? I would love that. And we were like a few just pushing for that, and decided to just add more and more like features in that way, and became like amazing software. Like we all use that now. I don't know what I would do like without that software. Even if I'm not the best user, I'm just still after all these years just using half of it, even not half of it. And each time they had like new features, I don't have the time to catch on with the cool new elements they had. But anyways, still loving it. I use it very fast. Oh yeah, you see, youngling, you go. But yeah, that more closer than my age. I'm from 71, and that's why like I put like on my resume and stuff that I have the head of in the South since 77 because it was like first year for Star Wars. So, but I'm not from 77. I'm more like a 71. And since I was a kid, I was just like loving all the. Yeah, no, nobody can. And when I was a kid, I was more like into animation, stop motion, like the things from Rary Amazon, like Sinbad, all that. And later, when I discovered where is it? When I discovered like softwares and the way you can just have like everything like animation, sculpting, everything into one or two softwares was like I saw the light. I was like, okay, I want to do that for sure. And before that, I was doing like puppets, like small like stop motion movies, stuff like that. I wish I had kept them, but no, I don't have them. Don't ask. So to me, it's always an idea of starting the pose and then from that pose, skirt on the top of it. And also always been like kid bashing. Always. There is something I like a lot. Anyway, I like about is not because it's fast and easy. It helps, but because it just kind of triggers more like another way of creating silhouettes. It's just like you have to go with what you have in material you're using, and that gives you like more like a different kind of a creative aspect to the sculpting. Something I really like. Saving that. I was doing like small puppetries like sockets puppets to start with, but I started to do also like puppets with string puppets. And I was more like being like the sculptor artist than the painter or like a drawer. I can draw, but like more to sculpt. Yes, a part of like many sets I purchased. One is like, for instance, those buckets comes from like a EMF brush, The helmet is a part of I can show you. I don't know if I just posted that one there. Yeah, see that one. Back. Yeah, it's posted 6 years ago, but it was like way before that. It was before our station. I can guarantee you that. Some elements are from that guy, and so on and so on. So I just keep track on all the assets I have, like since 2000 or something, and I always reuse those. And that's like same thing. The shoes, I designed those shoes like was the first one we was using that. I think she's the first one to use those boots, but then after that I just use them like everywhere. I'm using those kind of elements like that. I keep on like I'm using, so if you go in my command list down in my profile, you see like a command for like the kit bash I use. There are plenty. There are the old ones like I'm using from a bike and a few things I used like back then. Keep using them, but I had it like way more like since then. Okay, there is a little shoulder I want to add. Okay, I see. And yeah, that's it. ArtStation has amazing kit bashes for absolutely nothing. I don't know if you guys just have a look at that from time to time, but it's really good. I mean, some kit bashes are just like $10 and stuff like that, and they're amazing. Don't go over like $10. It's not worth it. You can just, if you go from like one site to another, you find something interesting for $10. Yeah, it's very useful. I try also just to find the most like and this one, for instance, I did that. Wait, just skipping. This one, for instance, is one I sculpted just using a few like alphas and a sphere, and that's it. And that's all I need because I wanted that kind of a particular shoulder. I still sculpt. Polar 2 is sculpted. And that suit there is like a spacesuit I found also like years ago, spacesuit, and then I just cut it into like that kind of a almost like a puppet thing, so I can just pose it the way I want. So it turns out like I'm doing more and more like astronauts, so I decided to do like one proper, so I can just reuse that each time I need something like that. Okay. So we are there, that's nice. Always saving, because after that I'm going to start to dynamesh the poor guy, and guaranteed it's going to crash on me for sure. So last one is those classes, and then I'm going to just model the rest of the helmet below. Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, exactly. And seriously, like it's like I really, really, really don't care about reusing stuff and just like picking up like any kind of a kit bash, because it's part of the whole illustration anyway. So if it was like, for instance, like designing a character for the gaming industry and stuff like that, yes, I would have to ask someone to do that for me, because I don't have the time for that. But I would certainly go into like a photo bashing to give like all the elements I want and stuff like that, and we will just start from there and just building up from the ground up a whole character. But apart from that, if it's for like concepting and for stuff like that, I don't care how I use that. Like, it's totally fine. So I'm just going to isolate the arms, the sorry, the hands, so I can just manipulate them a little like more easily. Wait. Well, I know, I kind of know. It's like not like I'm just totally improvising too. I have that kind of a big bad fella in the back of my head that is going to be close to that one, but don't want to see the face. I want to see something more like something like that, but still have the helmet on. So there is, or is it there? That kind of stuff. That's cool. But instead of having those big thing there, I want to get to the tubing, so it looks more like menacing and less human in a way. And after that, I'm going to have to do it more like stuff here and there. And I want to push even more than there the fact that it's going to be very dark and with like some elements very colorful, like cables and stuff. So it looks a little more like interesting in a more like in a way of what kind of a master I like a lot. Philippe Drouillet. That I met once too. I don't have a sign from him, but I have a very nice little like text he did for my first book ever. And Drouillet is like has those this way with colors that I really love. Big fan of his. And what I like is having he has those kind of a very tribal kind of a space aliens, you know, they have science stuff like that, you know, like I really love that shit. So I'm going to bring that back into my character. So he looks a little more like heavy metal. Yes, do that, you know. Exactly. Meteorolon, yeah, I'm a child of Meteorolon anyways, so see that to me is just like it's totally the best. I don't know why we don't have like that much more like aesthetic around because it's totally like a fantastic job. That and also another guy. It's not as extreme as him, but Cam Kennedy. I really love because of also his sense of like colors and especially shadows. You know, I take my shadows from him, like, totally. That's something like when I'm doing my art, I kind of always try to get back to that feeling. That's super cool. Very retro, very like look at those pages, like they're gorgeous. You should have done like some stories for Metal. And when you see that, it's like feels super Metal. So let's keep that one. So yeah, because in my universe, the one I'm building up for like the book, I want to have like a different kind of you know, like factions almost. So one is more like human, and one is going to be like a more alien aggressive. So they're going to have those more like aggressive metal, heavy metal kind of a look in armors and also like in their ships. I didn't even started to do something like that yet. I think I'm going to enjoy doing that very soon. So when you check all the stuff I did, those ones I was just like would totally fall into like the human empire, I would say. Or I don't know if it's going to be an empire or like coalitions or whatever, but with more like squares and more like industrial look. Even those are like from humans, you know. And then those ones are a little more like elegant. So I don't know, like those two ones, they could be like from like kind of a faction, like maybe like Venusians, whatever. Like I don't know. And that could be like you know, like again a human station. And that's the last one we did yesterday. But then I want to do like more like aggressive looking guys, but still keeping the colors, still keeping the whole like style fitting together. That's my 30 years as art directors talking. So yeah, it's going. I'm so having fun with that. I want to be paid to do that all time. I need to be paid though. But you guys are helping me right now, like with your support, really. You know, it's not a lot, but I don't care. Just like it just like helps me like going on. And in the end, we're going to have that cool book. So yeah, there's Jean Giraud. I met him a few times. Damn, that guy, crazy. Anyways, so I was going on 3 again. Yes, Salambo. I was looking for, where is it? Shit. When you, yeah, super. When you see something you like, just save it before just losing it. Me, I don't like see the. Oh, I didn't know that one. Is that him? Yeah, it looks like him. It must be like a more like a recent one. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's too kind. Thank you. I was just there to compare my work, but it's very inspired by their work. That's totally true. And those tattoos, paintings, I really love that. That shit. That's cool. And that one is one of my favorite images. And actually, there is one. Uh, yeah, that one. That one is quite special because if you look at it, it's basically Drouillet and Moebius who drew that one, like a more like a potpourri. So Drouillet did the hats and the silhouettes and left the dark there, and that's Moebius who did the kind of a monster inside there. So it's like a cooperation between like Moebius and Drouillet. And for the little story, that's very funny because Moebius was little aparté. Let's go with that. Moebius, like his real name. It's Jean Giraud. So he has like almost like a three pen names, and one he used is Gir. And on his pen name Gir, see you have the sign there. So it's not Moebius, it's Gir, Gr for like Giraud. He was doing this like comic book, like the Western comic book from with one of the master who was doing that at that time in the 60s. So is the name of that guy was Gigi, and he just taught Moebius how to draw like those amazing. The comics are crazy, and they're using ink and not pens, but brushes, ink and brushes, and that gives it like that very like unique look like that, and well, that's it. That's totally fucking brilliant. And then he started to just draw like so much that his master was a bit jealous, and Moebius felt like he needed to move on, and that's why he joined. Drouillet was a friend of his, but when he joined Drouillet, he started to just adapt his work from Drouillet and became almost like a second Drouillet for a while. So if you go like that's more like in the 70s, and he started to draw a bit too much like Drouillet, and then it became more like he found his like a correct style, and it became more like a his own like his own artist. It was funny. Where is it? I maybe have it on my Pinterest. I have plenty of stories like that. I read a lot about them, like lots of interviews. One that is funny is like when um, who was that? Jodorowsky was looking for a guy. He found Moebius right away. He knew that he wanted to work with him, but Moebius was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, it's long run. I see, etc." And just Jodorowsky knew what he had to say and say like, "Well, if you don't want to do it, that's okay. I know this guy Drury is going to do it." And he's Moebius went like, I'll take it. I'll take it. I want to do it." He was a bit jealous of Drury, I think. So that's why he was not confident yet. So he became more confident over time. So that's my Giro collection, but that one, that one is very like close to what Drouillet could do. Still have it, and this one too. And you see this one first sight, you would say that it's more like a Drouillet than a Moebius. Can I see that? Drouillet has like way more dark colors and stuff like that. So that's cool. Oh, the name of that guy is super nice. Okay, anyways. Antiviral, yeah, antiviral. I have like I have a hard time. Actually, again, a long story, but antiviral. Once in South of France, I wanted to just meet in a conference, and he just like just past us, and it was like no time, and just screw you guys. I was like, well, fuck you then. Uh, but no, apart from that, like yeah, that's super cool. Oh, that one is good too. Apart from that, I really liked when he was doing his first comics with Christin. Uh, Le vaisseau de pierre, tu connais? When he was doing that particular art, again, Métal Hurlant. So la force immortelle, euh, ça c'est la chasse, comment ça s'appelle déjà? Chasse privée ou chasse gardée, un truc comme ça c'était vraiment chouette. Euh, all the La Femme Piège and all that super cool. But after that, I just became less. I became less interested by him, and he did also like what that amazing one. Same time with Christin. Yeah, Exterminator 17. That story is super nice. Those are always like short stories that were like and those ones were like amazing designs. Yeah, oui, c'est ça. Exterminator 17, j'adore. I read it like over and over again. Look at that. That's kind of super nice concept designs. Like, it's the best. And while we are at it, you know, guys, about The Long Tomorrow. And The Long Tomorrow is basically the short story that inspired Neuromancer and also like Blade Runner. Just that. A story by Dan O'Bannon when he was working um, on Dune with Moebius, and he was over the shoulder of Moebius all the time, Dan O'Bannon, and because he was an FX artist at that time, he was just waiting for the guys to finish, and he was so impressed by Moebius that he was just breathing his neck all the time. And Moebius said, "Just okay, why you don't go like that way and just you write a little story for me, and when it's done, I'll do it for you later on." And Dan was super happy, so he just went there and just then wrote that story, and after that it's history, and you find like that reference from The Long Tomorrow, like in Blade Runner, in Neuromancer, it's very the beginning of that style. And if I find the correct one, there is a page, you'll find someone very familiar. The one that's L'Homme est-il bon, super cool story too. I find it. There you go. Let's see if you guys can see it. In the back of that, just that little frame from that base there is a little like droid there, and I'm sure you can recognize it. That's the drone from Star Wars. So funny. And that's the frame by frame from Star Wars Empire Strike Back. So many references. Yeah, the Recon Drone. Merci PM. Je peux pas tout faire en même temps, après j'ai la tête qui... Anyways. Back to that dude. Yeah, the prob do it. The prob one? Yeah, no. Anyways, that one. The one that who explodes and have like very like bad language. Et au fait, PA, t'inquiète pas, j'avance on the side sur ce que tu sais. T'en les images. J'ai juste de commencer. Là. Always double check all the angles. Again, I don't need to be that precise. That I show you the process that way. Non, mais après, ça va presser, je sens. Ça se sera fait. And still waiting for the Dune trailer. I think they're going to release it the first day of like summer, like the 20th of March, something like that. I feel that we're really getting closer to the good date there, the good moment. I don't know how they're going to communicate that movie now, because with all what's happening right now, like for the last month, is just so close to so many things. Like Brian Herbert was like kind of a visionary, so when it comes to society and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff, ecology, you name it, it's like he was like right all along. That's crazy. Hello, Electric Disc. Thanks for joining. Thanks a lot. That's a new illustration. We are going to have that kind of a big guy, like more like a trooper, uh, and with a landing on a planet, something like that, with just the ship in the back still steaming or something like that. And I want this big, like badass, like a trooper style thing, Moebius style, a bit like using also. Where is my reference? Hey. Yeah, a bit like that. Yeah, because I think we for like that book, I want also like to have a few good characters too. Was fun. Excellent. Thanks for electric disc. Yeah, I do the notifications on Twitter, but because it's easy, it's implemented into Twitch. But I should do some like on Instagram too. I have like way more followers on Instagram. Yeah, I really like the pose we pushed. It's cool. Yeah, and after that, that's where like I'm going to merge everything into one single mesh and hope for the best doing Dynamesh. I'm sure I'm going to have to fight on that one because I suspect I'm going to have like lots of closing holes issues. Yeah. And the music is from Evenline. And most of the time, when I'm doing like an illustration and I'm just halfway through, I'm already starting to think of the next one, and that's why I like to work on that project, thinking more like a book. I'm thinking more like factions and stuff like that, so I can just concentrate on what I'm doing and thinking about variations of a design for the faction, or just starting to think of a next faction with a design I like. I can just switch the way I want. So I think this one is going to introduce a new faction because I want it like more aggressive looking than the rest. Factions are totally like a good way to think about design. You know, they think where they are like an empire, they're like more like a industrial guys. They're like, what are they? And from there, you just start to make it happen. Come on now. Again, that's that's so. You have to think what you're art directing in video games. So it became a bit more like natural to me after all these years. Yeah, the music is very low. I don't know if you want it to be have it like a little louder. I can do that. Let me know if it's too loud or not. Okay, cool. Let me. Okay, so next, what do I do with that color? I think I like to keep that there because it's pushing a little more like the envelope. Around there, that's cool. I'm going to do that little like breather mask below. Okay, it's tough to fight that a bit. Let's see. I'm going to do like the symmetry first there. Then I'm going to put that on the face later on. Thank you. You have a very good few brush there. Interesting ones. Like stitch ones are cool. Where is my smooth? Stronger is cool. Yeah, always check your local if I played a bit back then myself. Hello, Luxon. Thanks for joining. I want to do like kind of like a big tubing-ish thing. I'm using a mouse, so Lazy Mouse is my friend. Yeah, I feel that it's the same thing with Elite Dangerous. Or you guys will be your best space game ever. Because let's be frank, it's very hard to have like a very good space game experience these days. Don't talk to me about that Star Citizen thing. Don't start there. To me, it's just like it's just like it looks fucking amazing, but it's not a game. It's a demo. Yes, the answer. No, Star Citizen is not a game. It's a demo. It's cool, but it's like it's not like when you see how the things with the shooting, the landing, stuff like that. Like I'm more. I like to have like more like a more grounded experience. Like check how the spaceships land in Star Citizen. To me, there is my little thing about like space games. I'm a big fan of Alien, for instance, and in Alien, when you see the landing of the first Alien, damn, it's hot. Like you know that thing is super heavy and it's going down no matter what, and they try to control it, and you don't just hover around the terrain like doesn't make sense of your like, beautiful but huge ship. Like that's why I'm doing my design. My designs I always think about that. Like I'm not like a geek of technical thing, but it's like the suspension of disbelief. That's how we call that. And in my point of view, like when the spaceship goes there, you just should have like all these thrusters down, and like it's not something. It's not hovering like crazy, or it has to be like around the planetoid or something. So to me, they should just fix that and have like a kind of a more grounded experience. Elite Dangerous, they have that bit because when you're going close to the planetoids, you change the way you fly and stuff like that. So that's cool. But you're still like just flying like too easily. Yeah. Like just docking in the stations in the Elite Dangerous is cool. Well, maybe they did like something like over like 300 millions, but they just spend the whole thing because they have like huge teams. Like you have to pay the guys. Like and they're doing an amazing job. Usually it's like crazy. But not again. C'est voilà. Très bien. ED stands for, sorry. Oh, it's just a shooter, so I'll go crazy. I must be like 5, yeah. 5. 5 is cool, you know, like it's okay. It's not that crazy. After that, I can just subdivide that thing. Yeah, I like that part too, you know, like walking around stuff like that. But again, it should be like I don't know, more like connected to the world. You know, they should have like your oxygen levels. You know, should have like it's not like you can just land on any kind of planet. There's many things that they should improve for sure. So yeah, still see, and it's dangerous. The fighting, the flying is quite cool. You know, like but it's long. You know, like it's very like I visited. I don't know how many like planets. I just found a few ones by myself, but I like the exploration side, but there was not much apart from that, so it's kind of frustrating. So I need some kind of a technical-ish whatever. But right now, that's just the breather of my character. It's not going to be like there is not going to be like lots of details on it because it's going to be like so hidden and stuff. But I just need a few things done before moving on to the next thing. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah. Many. But it's not worth like having like something that complex for like something that's going to be like that tiny in the end. See, Dual Universe is that the one who's just like being like around like for years? Sorry. And there was this other one, this shooter, something Galaxy, you know, like with a cowboy music and all. And that was the second one they did. It was like quite interesting. I really like this one, but it's like a Rogue Galaxy, whatever Galaxy. Rebel Galaxy, thank you. Yeah, Rebel Galaxy is quite fun. Okay, let's see what goes with that. Oh, I'm going to just redo. Ah, mais faut ce qu'il faut, hein. En fait, je suis parti d'une sphère pour celui-là, mais j'utilise beaucoup d'alpha, beaucoup d'éléments comme ça va plus vite pour moi. Bon. Moi, c'est ma technique en fait. C'est beaucoup d'éléments que je mixe tout, ensemble, que je dynamèche. Et ça, tu sais, comme quoi là, c'était d'abord une sphère, puis après, très vite, tu arrives à une forme générale qui me sert. Donc, je vais utiliser que cette partie-là. J'aurai des tuyaux en plus par-dessus. That's the job. Okay, that will do. So that's where the fun begins. Okay, and then I'm going to have my tubings coming out of it. I'm going to cover all the base there. Explore, yeah. That was a good one too. getting there. That's nice. Yeah, truly. I also started to watch the new Netflix series Space Force. So fun. Just like at episode one, but Alkovich is amazing. I don't know if you guys saw it. Quite fun. Any similarities with like someone existing in real life is totally like non-voluntary, of course. Yeah, I've just had it like just like at the beginning of that. So fun. I think that just to find their pacing, it's a bit like over the top. It's cool. So yeah, I like choose. This one is going to have like extra tuning. Nice. Well, Macarich is totally just when you hear this voice, it's so cool. You saw him in like what was like a burn after reading. Oh my god, that movie. He's losing it. So again, when I do my work, it's just totally trying more to go into like a general feel of the character, not going too much into like doing a real design, but more like a shape that sends the kind of the vibe I want. So big gun, lots of cables, lots of gear, pretty much covers the guy mindset already. It's a bit like in heavy metal, that's like they play with the idea of like just pushing it, like it looks almost too badass. It's all good. Oops. So see, when I was saying like I won't go like crazy on the design of that little like river thing there, that mask, because I know that's going to be like covered with cables. Ah. Wow, almost like 50 people around. You guys are so like calm. That's the music, right? It works. And when I'm done with that guy, after that, the coming up next after that is going to be like the spaceship that it has in the back. Plus, I need to do the ground, and I can go into rendering. cool. That's more like a Cthulhu fighter. Thanks, Astromech. Welcome. Well, I'm just going to have to go very soon, but just follow me and you'll be aware of the next coming up videos. Oh, that's nice. That I need to just do like a little more like a walk to get the feel I want. There, having a few straps more, and And also like I want to like a little more tubing, because freaking why not. Thank you. So we continue tomorrow, I think, if I'm not too tired. Keeping on that guy, and just after that giving him like a little more, like even more pushed a little more. So it looks even more fun. Yeah, with the shadows and all, it's going to look badass. Look at that. Okay, that's going to be like totally that for today. And thanks a lot for following and all that. You're there, guys. And see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye. Have a good night. Bye bye. Just thanks, guys. Much appreciated. See you around. Bye bye.